went to the doctor because my right leg was in so much pain it felt like it filed a complaint against me. The doctor said, "That's just your age catching up with you." I said, "My age?" and pointed at my left leg. That leg is the same age. Same birthday, same mileage, same bad decisions. But it feels amazing. No pain, no creaking, no dramatic sound effects. The doctor looked confused, stared at my legs, and finally said, "Well, sir, your right leg might just be more honest about how old you are." My boss rolled into work today in a sweet new car, shiny enough to blind me in the parking lot. Trying to be a good employee, I said, "Wow, nice car, sir." He smiled like a motivational poster and said, "Thanks. If you work hard, set goals, stay determined, and put in long hours." I leaned in, thinking this was about to turn into a speech about teamwork and success. Then he finished with, "I can get an even better one next year." I stood there processing that I had somehow been promoted to fuel source. Suddenly, my coffee tasted like unpaid overtime. I didn't know whether to laugh, cry, or ask if I at least get to sit in the passenger seat next year. So now I'm working hard, but mostly on my resume. Our teacher walked into class one day feeling extra sarcastic and said, "If there are any idiots in the room, please stand up." The room went dead silent, so quiet you could hear the classroom clock judging us. After a few seconds, I stood up slowly, like I was volunteering for a very bad idea. The teacher smirked and said, "Oh, really? Why do you think you're an idiot?" I shrugged and said, "Honestly, I don't. But I felt really awkward watching you stand up there all by yourself." The entire class exploded with laughter. The teacher just stared at me, blinking like his brain needed a software update. I sat back down knowing I'd just earned attention and legendary status at the same time. A first-grade teacher was having trouble with one of her students. One day she asked Johnny what his problem was. He replied, "I'm too smart for the first grade. My sister is in the third grade and I'm smarter than her, too." The teacher took him to the principal's office and explained the situation to the principal. The principal told her that he would give Johnny a test, and if he failed to answer one question, he would have to go back to the first grade and be quiet. The teacher and Johnny both agreed. "Principal, what is 3x3? Johnny, 9. Principal, 6. Johnny, 36. And so it went on like this. The principal asked him every question a third grader should know. Finally, after about an hour, he told the teacher, "I see no reason Johnny can't go to the third grade. He answered all of my questions, right?" The teacher asked if she could ask him some questions. The principal and Johnny agree. "Teacher, what does a cow have 4 of that I only have 2 of?" Johnny, "Legs." Teacher, "What do you have in your pants that I don't have?" The principal gasps, but before he can stop him from answering, Johnny says, "Pockets." Teacher, "What does a dog do that a man steps into?" Johnny, "Pants." Teacher, "What starts with F and ends with K and means a lot of excitement?" Johnny, "Fire truck." The principal breathes a big sigh of relief and says, "Put Johnny in the 5th grade. I got the last 4 questions wrong myself."
Hospital rules say every discharged patient must leave in a wheelchair. No exceptions. So there I am, a student nurse, and I find this elderly gentleman fully dressed, suitcase packed, sitting on the bed like he's waiting for a taxi. He tells me, "Young lady, I walked in here, I can walk out," which is exactly what every stubborn grandpa says. I explain that rules are rules, and after sighing like I personally invented hospital policy, he finally lets me wheel him to the elevator. On the way down, I make small talk and ask, "So, sir, is your wife meeting you downstairs?" He looks at me and says, "I have no idea." I'm thinking, wow, cold marriage, until he adds, "She's still upstairs in the bathroom changing out of her hospital gown." That's when I realized I wasn't discharging him, I was discharging the wrong patient.